Oh, hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again, and I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving yesterday. Spending time with family, friends, loved ones, so on and so forth. Um, hey, it was a great Thanksgiving because we got the win. Got the win over those Washington Redskins, which seemingly talk the most trash. I'm glad that we won. More so for me, living in the DMV area, having to hear the Redskins all day, talking about how they win and how they beat us and blah, blah, blah. So, getting that win was big. It was, watching the Cowboys play football is like, we rarely ever have a game where you're like, oh, we got this. I can sit back and chill and talk to other people. But when you watch the Cowboys play, it's always a nail biter, no matter what. It's a division game. We know that, they're always going to play us tougher than any other team. Even when their roster seems to be, riddled with injuries, things of that nature, it don't matter. They know how to play the Cowboys. But final score 31-23. Now, when you look at some of the mistakes that Colt McCoy made, and a lot of it was forced upon from our defense, but we took advantage of that. Now, just some things I took away from the game. At first, we started off really good in the game. It looked like it had to me, it had a Jaguars type of feel when we beat the Jaguars. It had that feeling where it's like, oh, we might go on a tear here. We might start just scoring on these guys. And then next drive, we come out and fall flat. And it's just like, why do we keep doing that? I mean, yes, we're on a 3-game winning streak, but I still want Linehan out of here. Because at the end of the day, I'm watching the tape. I'm going back and watching specific plays that matter in certain crunch times. And I just look at it and I'm just like, why would you do that there? Or why are you not doing this, that, and the third? Like, it's funny because I'm sitting there watching the game and I'm like, why don't you do this and why don't you do that? And I'm just spitting out plays that they could be doing and formations that we could be running, but they're not doing it. And then all of a sudden, when I started talking about it, it's like they just woke up and started doing it. Well, you know that you have a dynamic receiver in Amari Cooper right now. You know that you have a dynamic running back. And you know that you have a quarterback that can run the ball himself. So why not take advantage of the 3 things that you're good at right now on offense? Take advantage of it. Hit them in the mouth. If it works the first time, keep freaking doing it until they stop you. That's the issue that I have. Like, we'll have one great drive, and then we'll come back, and the next drive is like all of a sudden we can't get things together. But, a lot of people are going to probably be like, oh, it's a win. Blah. It's a great win. It's a wonderful win. We got to keep doing it, though. Because if we want to stay pat, and we are now first in the division, because even though our record is the same as the Redskins, you still got to keep winning. But we also have that we have first place over them off of the sole of the fact that we won. We have more division wins, obviously. But you look at trying to get a wild card spot into the playoffs. If we're going to get this far and go to the playoffs, you got to look at some of the games that we dropped. We lost to some NFC South teams. We did beat the Falcons. That does help. But we lost to Carolina the first game of the season. Like, you look at games that, like, we could have actually pulled out, in our conference. You got to win some of these conference games, too. Because when it comes to your division, and, they look at all these. When it comes to, if your record is the same as somebody in your division, whoever wins that out, they look at all that. They look at division wins. They look at conference wins and strength of schedule. Strength of schedule is another thing that people don't realize that they look at. But strength of schedule, and I think the Eagles have, I think since they won the Super Bowl, I think they have the hardest strength of schedule right now. But we got to keep winning. We got the Saints next week, y'all. I'm not going to go into it right now. I'll save that for this week coming. Saints coming in. You see how they've been playing. They score almost on every... They score some type of points on almost every possession. And you got to be able to stay pat with them. And what's key to our Dallas Cowboys? And if you don't know, I'm going to tell you right now. DeMarcus Lawrence mentioned it himself. He basically said that when they asked him in the post-game conference, they basically said, hey, we're playing well, and a lot of it is because, some of it is because of the offense is doing their job too. Because when the offense is winning the time of possession, when the offense is marching down the field, when the offense is scoring touchdowns, it helps the defense out because they're not on the field as much. They're able to, get rest. They're able to drink water, Gatorade. They're able to hydrate on the sideline. Because, again, you already know what happens with our defense when they're on the field too long. They get tired. The offense that they're playing against starts reeling. They start going to hurry up offense, and then the defense can't rotate players in and out. They can't sub players out because of the hurry up offense, because there's no time in between. And then now you got a tired defense, and they can't cover as well. So again, your offense plays off your defense, and your defense plays off your offense. That's how it works. The whole narrative of defense wins games and defense wins Super Bowls, I don't necessarily always believe that, because you still got to have an offense to get you into the end zone, because your defense it's technically not their job to score points, but they can. But it's not their job to score points. That's what offensive players do. So you have to have somewhat of a competent offense to help with your defense, because it's, again, like I said before, it's a compliment to them. And, that's just some things you guys have to understand. Now, I look at the game and I'm like, yes, I'm glad that we won. I am happy that we won. It was awesome. It was a great end to Thanksgiving, and I'm thankful for it. I am. That touchdown that Dak Prescott had when he scrambled out to his left. It was Romo-esque. He scrambled out to his left, juked one guy, came up, sidestepped another guy to the right, went to the end zone, did a front flip. Now, again, I said many times before, Dak is a mobile quarterback. Allow him to run. Now, what I didn't like that he did on some of those plays where he got sacked, there were lanes open for him to step up. It was that one where he went back and we ended up, I think, 3rd and 17 or whatever on the 25-yard line or whatever. We should have been able to score on that series before that touchdown, because all he had to do was step up. If he would have stepped up in the pocket, he would have either got the first down, or he could have stepped up and been able to do a short pass to somebody that was right there. I mean, you could have made a positive play out of it. My whole thing is you always have to look for the positive play. Any way that you can, get your guy open. You see the pressure coming into the pocket, step up into it. Because when you step up, now they have to go around another guy to get to you. So I think Dak just has to do a little better job of his awareness when it comes to that. Now, I understand that, you're busy looking around the field. You're scanning the field, trying to find somebody to pass the ball to. Nobody's open right away. You got these guys bearing down on you. I can understand how hard that is. I do. And I get that. But when you got open lanes, you got to step up in that pocket and figure it out. Ezekiel Elliott touchdowns. It was funny because when he scored that, I think it was his first touchdown. I'm not sure. When when he scored that touchdown. Well, he only had one. I'm sorry. When he scored that first touchdown, he came in there and the photographer gave him $21 and he threw it in the Salvation Army bucket. I thought that was kind of cool too. Then when Dak scored, Ezekiel Elliott picked him up and put him in the kettle, and then they called a penalty on it. I know that the league probably called down. I was like, look, call a penalty on that, because I don't think they were going to do it at first, because the penalty came in hella late. Like, they were literally about to go in field goal formation when it, in extra kick formation when it happened. But, the Cowboys, they donate to the Salvation Army all the time. So, to me, it's not disrespectful to the Salvation Army. It was something fun that they did. And like I said, it's a carryover from when Zeke jumped in the kettle last year. So it's just like you jumped in there and you put Dak in there too. It's funny. But they got to call the unsportsmanlike penalty on that. It is what it is. Amari Cooper, 180-yard game, 2 touchdowns, 140-yarder, 190-yarder. we already know that Amari Cooper is a great route runner. And just watching it is just, you look at that and you look at that first round pick and it makes you feel good about giving that first round pick away. Amari Cooper right now, from his contract carried over from the Oakland Raiders, I think he's making like $13 million right now. So we already know that because we have him for another season. So thank God we got him for another year. We got him for a full season next year. I'm excited about that. But I know the Cowboys are going to re-sign him. They're definitely going to do that. Jerry Jones already admitted to it. He already talked about it. He said, hey, this guy is playing his way into a contract. And you already know they're going to re-sign him. I mean, he's perfect for the Cowboys, from the type of guy that they want. The right type of guy. He's an introverted guy. He's not super flashy. That's why I was shocked when he scored his first touchdown that he actually did a touchdown celebration. When I saw it, I was like, is that Amari Cooper? Because I'm like, he's normally chill. Like, he'll normally score a touchdown. He'll make a face, or he'll do something like not a sound, but he'll do something like a gesture or something, but he'll keep it moving. He's not a guy that talks too much. He doesn't talk trash. He doesn't do things like that. He lets his play for itself, which I fully respect that. But again, he did a touchdown celebration, and some people were saying that he was trolling Markel, what's the dude's name? Klutz? I don't know the dude. Markel? I don't know him. He plays for the 76ers, and apparently he's a bust for the 76ers from what I hear. I'm not a 76ers fan, so I don't watch them, so I don't know who this guy really is, but from what I hear, he hasn't been doing that well. He's been struggling with his free throws. So what Amari Cooper did was he acted like he was at the free throw line. He got the guys lined up in front of the goalpost, and he shot the ball into the goalpost. I thought that was cool, but it was funny. It really was. But I just, and apparently the kid Markel responded to it in the video too. And Amari Cooper, when they asked him about it, he said, I don't really know the guy. I don't even really watch basketball like that until the finals. I mean, me personally, I don't watch basketball till the finals anyway, because I'm watching my Cowboys all season and I'm doing my YouTube channel. So I'm busy doing that. So I don't have time to, watch basketball. And I do love basketball. I just don't normally watch it till after football season is over, or unless the Cowboys don't make the playoffs. And I'm like, all right, let's switch gears. Let's watch the Mavericks. Let's watch these other teams play. You know what I mean? So I look at it like this. I'm glad that we got Amari Cooper. He got 2 touchdowns in the game, 180 yards. And that is the first time I believe that we had a receiver get that many yards. I think Dez had 150 in 2014 when we played the Jaguars in London. And I think Dez was the last one before that to get anywhere between 120 and 150 yards receiving for the game. Ezekiel Elliott finally hit the 1,000 yard mark. And it's funny because when you look at his season, it's been really up and down. And he had some games where he was held. You remember the Redskins game, they held him to 33 yards. They didn't hold him this game, y'all. And we take advantage of that. And we love when teams talk trash during the week, saying they're going to contain Zeke. They want Dak to beat him. This is the second time that players and somebody from a staff of another team have openly said that we want Dak to beat us. And what does Dak do? Dak hears everything y'all saying, and Dak went out there and he did his thing. You know what I mean? Like, he had 289 yards passing with 2 touchdowns and then 1 on the ground himself. That's a good day to me. I don't need my quarterback to make 300 plus yards a game and then lose. If he gets consistent 250, 280 yards and a touchdown, 2 touchdowns, long as we win the game, that's what I'm concerned with the most. So that's pretty much where I'm at with that. Blake Jarwin had two catches for 25 yards. Blake Jarwin sighting. So you look at what we have with tight end. We don't have the greatest tight ends. Jeff Swain was out for probably a month with a broken wrist. But, next man up. I just wish they use Rico more. This would have been a perfect game to use Rico. Perfect. Because everybody was looking at Amari Cooper at the time. Everybody was trying to contain Zeke Elliott. You had opportunities to use You could have had, for real, you could have had Rico score. I was sitting there watching the game. It's like, oh, put me in the booth. Let me call the plays. Let me call it. Just let me call it. Because when they started scoring and they were catching up and it was like 13-17 after Amari scored that first touchdown, I said, yo, score is still too close. We got to win. And then all of a sudden, our defense started doing some things. And then there you go. DeMarcus Lawrence had a half a sack and an interception. The ball went right to him. It was perfect. You know, he almost hit pay dirt on that one. Then we had 3 turnovers. We had his interception, 3 interceptions in the game, I believe it was 3. Yeah, because Xavier Woods had one too that was knocked up. So Colt McCoy threw the ball. Leighton Vander Esch, Leighton doing this thing out there. Leighton Vander Esch popped the ball up. It got to the receiver, but it was a little behind him because the ball got short because it was tipped. Then it was batted around. Then Xavier Woods came down with it for the interception. And then your boy Anthony Brown, which a lot of you guys don't like AB, but he had a sack in the game on a corner blitz, and he had an interception. So I look at it like this. When your offense is doing what they need to do, your defense plays much better. And we already have a good defense. So you look at what we already have, couple that with the offense actually doing their job and Linehan calling some of the right plays, at least 75% of the time, things look better. Now, I'm definitely happy with the win. I'm happy with my team right now. But I'll tell you right now, next week ain't gonna be easy. It's not. I'm not ever gonna say that we can't win a game because it's any given Sunday, y'all. It's any given Sunday in this league. Now, you look at the Falcons and Saints game, our defense is definitely better than the Falcons right now. Their score was 31-17. So I look at that and I'm like, well, they didn't really blow them out. And they were containing them pretty much in the beginning of the game, and then Drew Brees was Drew Brees, and he did his thing. So I look at it like this. When we play them next week, we got to be on our P's and Q's. You cannot make mistakes with a team that's dynamic like that on offense. And the thing about the Saints is that's different than these other teams. See, the Falcons are great on offense, but they're not as good on their defense. Desmond Trufant, he hasn't been playing up to the caliber that he normally plays at. Their linebacker, Deion Jones, he's been out, still dealing with his surgically repaired toe. And again, that's important, to get your body right before you come back and play. But their weakness is their secondary. You look at the Redskins. The Redskins have a great front four. It's their back end that suffers a little bit, even with the addition of HaHa Clinton-Dix. Tell me how many times have you seen HaHa Clinton-Dix do anything in the game? Do you guys even remember HaHa Dix playing yesterday against us? Because, I saw him walking off the field a couple of times, but I don't remember seeing him in any of the plays. But you got to look at it like this. Every team has a weakness. Now, when I look at the Saints, I'm like, I don't know what their weakness is because they got a great quarterback. They got a great running back. They got a great receiver in Michael Thomas. They have... and they almost had Dez out there complimenting him if Dez didn't tear his Achilles. And then they have a good defense as well. So it's almost like they're a dual threat. Now, for the Cowboys to match up with that, definitely have to be on their P's and Q's. And I'm not saying that it can't be done, because it definitely can. But you gotta keep Drew Brees off the field. Keep him off the field. If you don't keep him off the field, y'all, it's not gonna win the game. So I do love the fact that we had to win this game. We had to win this Redskins game. 6-5, leading the division right now for now. Next week is gonna be a whole different ball game. So the Eagles and Giants play on Sunday, so we'll wait to see what happens with that game. But as I digress. Thanks again, y'all, for all my subscribers. If this is your first time hearing about your boy, go ahead and tap dance on that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Dings to the fresh content that comes out. This is your boy E2 Blue, always keeping it real. Hey, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all weekend with family or whatever it is you decide to do. Just stay out of trouble. Shit, boy E2 Blue, always keeping it real.